Hey, welcome to The Explainer. So today we're going to break down one of the most, well, dramatic and kind of confusing times in anyone's life, adolescence.
Okay, so let's just dive right in with the feeling I bet you know all too well. That moment you look in the mirror and it feels like your body has a total mind of its own. Your clothes don't fit right, your voice sounds weird, right? What is even going on?
Well, this wild period of change actually has a name. It's called adolescence. And you know, it's not just random chaos. It's actually a super carefully programmed journey, a biological one that takes you from being a kid to an adult. Think of it like your body's original blueprint getting a massive update, all to get you ready for what comes next.
All right, first up, let's talk about the most obvious stuff. The changes you can actually see and feel happening to your body. You know, the ones that make you stare in the mirror and go, wait, who is that?
So, the first thing pretty much everyone notices, the growth spurt. I mean, it seriously feels like it happens overnight, doesn't it? The long bones in your arms and legs just start to elongate, and this sudden jump in height is one of the biggest signs that things are getting started. It's exactly why you can outgrow a brand new pair of shoes in what feels like 5 minutes.
And it's not just about getting taller. As we shoot up, our body shapes start to change in some really interesting ways. For boys, you'll see shoulders getting broader and muscles start to become more prominent. For girls, the area below the waist and the hips begin to widen. It's all part of the body developing those distinct male and female physical frames.
And hey, it's not just your shape that's changing. Your voice gets in on the action too. This is especially dramatic for boys. The voice box, which is called the larynx, gets bigger, and that creates that little bump you can see called the Adam's apple. This is what causes the voice to crack and eventually settle into a much deeper, hoarser sound. In girls, the larynx grows a little, but not nearly as much, so their voice usually stays in a higher pitch.
Okay, so even with all those differences, there are a lot of things that are pretty much universal. For one, the sweat and oil glands in your skin go into overdrive. That's why pimples and acne can suddenly become a new and, let's be honest, annoying part of life. And of course, there's new hair growing in new places, for everyone, like under the arms and in the pubic area.
So what's pulling all the strings here? What's making all this happen? It might feel like some kind of strange magic, but it's actually all biology. So let's go behind the scenes and meet the invisible drivers of this whole transformation.
The answer, in one word, hormones. You can think of them like your body's own personal mail carriers, or chemical messengers. They're made in places called endocrine glands, they travel through your bloodstream, and they deliver very specific instructions to a target site, telling that part of your body exactly what to do and when to do it.
Now, during adolescence, there are two hormones that really take center stage. For boys, the testes start pumping out testosterone. This is the hormone that kicks off things like facial hair, a deeper voice, and the production of sperm. For girls, the ovaries start producing estrogen, and that's what's responsible for things like breast development and for starting the menstrual cycle.
But here's the thing. These powerful hormones do way more than just change how we look. They kickstart the development of our reproductive systems. This is a huge step, and it really opens up a brand new chapter in life.
Okay, so for females, this all leads to the beginning of the menstrual cycle. It's this incredible rhythmic process that happens about once a month. First, one of the ovaries releases a mature egg. At the same time, the uterus prepares for a potential pregnancy by building up a thick lining. Then, if that egg isn't fertilized, the lining isn't needed, so the body sheds it. That shedding is what we call menstruation, or a period.
That very first time the cycle begins, it's a huge milestone, and it's called menarche. And this natural process keeps going for decades, until it stops at a stage we call menopause, usually somewhere around age 45 to 50.
You know, all this talk about reproduction brings us to this really fascinating question, one that people have wondered about for, like, centuries. What actually decides if a baby is a boy or a girl?
Well, the secret isn't some ancient mystery. It's actually written right into our DNA, in these tiny things called sex chromosomes. It's pretty straightforward. Females have 2 X chromosomes, so they're XX. Males have 1 X and 1 Y chromosome, so they're XY. Okay, so here's the really crucial part. The mother's egg always carries an X chromosome. Always. But the father's sperm can carry either an X or a Y. So if a sperm with an X fertilizes the egg, you get XX, a girl. If a sperm with a Y fertilizes the egg, you get XY, a boy. So scientifically speaking, it's actually the chromosome from the father that determines the baby's sex.
Okay, so now that we've got the biological blueprint down, let's talk about fuel.
Because with all of this amazing, rapid growth going on, your body is basically a high-speed construction site, and it needs the right materials and the right care to build everything correctly. Taking care of your health right now is more important than ever.
A balanced diet is honestly the non-negotiable fuel for this whole thing. And this isn't just about feeling full. It's about giving your body the building blocks it needs. Proteins for muscle, carbs for energy, healthy fats for your brain. And things like iron are super important for making more blood to get to your growing body. And calcium? That's the absolute key for strengthening those bones that are stretching out so fast.
So what does that actually look like, day to day? Well, it's about building a few simple but really powerful habits. Eating that balanced diet with plenty of fruits, veggies, grains, and protein gives your body the raw materials. Good personal hygiene, like bathing every day, helps manage those overactive glands we talked about. And regular exercise. It doesn't just build muscle, it's great for balancing hormones and managing stress.
And, just as important as what you should do is what you absolutely shouldn't do. And that means it is so important to stay away from drugs. They're addictive, they can cause real and lasting harm to your body and your mind, and they can completely derail this incredible process of growth. It's a time to make choices that will protect your health for the long haul.
Look, when it comes right down to it, adolescence isn't just something that happens to you. It's the amazing biological process of you becoming you. Understanding what's going on is the first step to navigating it all with confidence. It's a temporary, intense period of change that is literally building the foundation for the rest of your life. So the real question is, now that you have the blueprint, how are you going to choose to build?